Hey guys, good evening. This is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. Doing a trade review today. Quite an interesting day. Down, I guess the word would be a lot. A lot. So the first thing I want to cover is the new algo. Before I get started with that, it's not really new algo, the updated, new and improved, whatever word you want to use. Important disclaimer and reminder for all traders and investors. The webinar is for educational purposes only and not a recommendation to buy or sell any particular financial instrument. Equities, futures, options, and currency trading have large potential rewards, but also large potential risks. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the futures and options markets. Do not trade with money you can't afford to lose. The website is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell equities, futures, or options. No representation is being made. The account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed in this channel. Past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Absolutely consult your registered financial advisor and your risk trading plan before ever investing or trading any financial instrument. Okay, cool. Got that out of the way. I kind of just start flashing that up. So, one thing I want to cover. First, let's get context down. So, I'm going to drag in our handy dandy profile chart as soon as I find it. And here it is. So there was a couple of things to know about coming into today. You'll see right out of the gate, I'm pretty straightforward with my members, and I was like, look, this is a gap down. The NASDAQ came in opening up minus 1.5%. There's a couple of things that are different about this time. So when you pull this chart in, let me fix it with all our lovely levels on it. And what you will see is that unlike in prior times where we gap down, where we've been going in this area, where we've been going up, 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 up. See how we can't break any major swings? If we break them, we just break them by a hair. Well, we've broken the swing big time. The last swing over here, big time. And we're in correction mode in the market, right? So the piece number 2, Google came out with numbers last night. Usually Google will produce pretty good numbers and spike the market. I expected the market to spike. That doesn't mean I was long into it. I just expected the market to spike. So very, very interesting when it does not spike and you expect it to spike. It tells you a lot of information. Okay, next, let's open this up a little bit. Okay, so next you can see over here, this is where we closed. We gapped down in the overnight session. This is what's called a TPO profile chart, right? Very, very nice, quick, efficient way to see what's going on in the market. So we gapped down, we never tested the highs, and we were trending down, lower lows and lower highs all night long coming into the open. Next, you will see on the open, right, out of the last 30 minutes, we took out that 30-minute high. And then here, I like to break down the days into individual columns. So you can see we opened up, took out the high, and then we started with an open drive lower. And whether you looked on a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, didn't matter. This was trend down. We never broke a swing to the upside all day long. First clue, which is why when I came in the morning and I said, general, if I can get up there in time, and you'll see before we even got started here, I share this, but actually now that I think that I'm sharing it, I'm not, because it's on my other computer. Hold on a sec. Okay, let's grab this over. And let's see if I can spread this over enough to be able to see it. And the first thing, I'd like to get all the way up here. Okay, so this is at 7:55 a.m. Central Time. Big gap down. We all know the drill. I would encourage you to skip the first half hour. It'll be fast, and big gap days tend to be many traders' worst days. Okay, NQ's minus 300 right now, right? And so this is the first part of the day, right? And you'll see that one of the things I was repeating in the room over and over and over is caution, 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 right? Don't try to buy this dip and force it to the upside. That'll be the very hard way to trade, okay? And then I said, if you trade defensively. So our number one rule is to protect our capital. There's a lot of people in the room, both in their personal accounts and in they're part of these prop firms where they've made a lot of money in the prop firms while the market's been going up, and they've worked hard for those accounts, right? Who wants to blow up an account you worked hard for? Answer, nobody, right? But you got to find a balance between your emotional decision to attack, and always make money, and then turn around and have one bad day and give it all back. So I think that part of the mission was accomplished. The second part of the mission that was very important is entry, exit, stop. A lot of people, when they're trading, even if they have a process to see the back gap down, they have candied visions of catching the low and writing it up for 400 points, and they blow up on the way down. So that's the first clue. You'll see that this lined out with where we had support resistance on the chart this morning, and it was a pretty straightforward answer. We just basically came all the way down, came into our support areas. That's the first place where we really found any kind of buying, and that was in the last hour and a half of the day. It was just straight trend day down. So now let's go to the actual algos. So here's what the surprising thing was for me, guys, was the lack of algos in the room. So there's two main algos that we trade around, which is the White Cross Blue Shield and the TMP Arrow algos, right? So let's go cover those here real quick. And you'll see intraday we're creating floating support resistance areas, and those tended to generally work very nicely. We're going to get rid of everything we can. This is coming off another chart, so hold on, I'll find it. Let's see if I can get this to, it's not this chart, maybe this chart. Nope. It was this chart. Hold on, sorry. Let's clean it up. Sorry, guys. 2, 3. I know I have another chart floating in here. Maybe I don't. I guess I do not. I'll figure out where I got these, where I was posting these lines from, and we'll worry about it in a moment. So the first thing I want you to notice, this is our 24 tick chart. Just the lack of signals we had on the 24 tick chart was pretty surprising today to the long side, right? So first I want to cover the long side. Let me tell you what I'm looking for and what I did not get, okay? Which is this right here. Arrow down, stuffed. So that's my most aggressive trade from the edge, right? Or at least the easiest trade to read off the edge. And if you look to the long, first we'll do the long side. It was 1, and then you would expect when we're getting heavy sells, look at the lack of pluses or arrows that we're getting down to the downside. I'll show you here. Here's one, and this was a stop at 14.18, but that was like one of the only ones that we got at the edge that got stuffed. There's another one right at the end of the day. I don't think anyone would have taken that with 5 minutes to go given the conditions, but this is what we were looking for, and it would be pretty normal on a wide range like this to get it. It's what really surprised me. Now also, if you look on the short side of the trade, right, coming back to 8:30 in the morning, and what we wanted to be able to do, the other side that we were in trend day down, first of all, is the inability to get to the top of the channel. Really, this was the only clean short entry I had on the 24 tick almost all day long. I don't think there was another one. It was just an odd day. The volume was very consistent. There was really no extreme pushes on one end or the other, so that was a short. It obviously paid very handsomely, but we just couldn't get on the 24 tick the short side of the trade to print, and this is what I would have expected, which is why we have two different charts. Okay, so after the close, that's not gonna count, right? on the short side. So not much activity from the 24 tick uh, uh, on the TMP arrow trade, right? So where we had the trades came from the 15 tick, shockingly enough. It just was a methodical day instead of a fast day. So outside of the first half hour, right? So let's just go to 9 o'clock, because the first half hour until about 9:10 was difficult. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to turn this off because this is hard to see. There we go. There, I like that chart more and more naked. So here's short one outside the channel. 1, 2. Remember, I want these to be at or beyond the channel. 3. This is a stop, so you're 3 for 4 so far, and your RR is way up. Oh, I missed this one. This is almost at the top of the channel. If you figured out we were trending down, that was all right to take. If you're super disciplined, you had to get to take to the at or beyond the channel. It didn't touch there, right? Which totally fine. Let's see if we find it. This would have been considered a long. Technically, that's a stop right there because it just didn't lift enough, right? Obviously, the context was trend day down. Let's see if we find another. I mean, you would have expected a lot of these trades, and there just wasn't. We just spent a whole lot of time during the day. Here, I thought this was the best trade of the day right there at 12:47. At the top of the channel, arrow up, bar down, beautiful roll to the downside. You got paid. You got paid on the trade, right? There's no question about it. It's just how much did you get paid, and there wasn't that much opportunity. And that's actually not a bad thing, right? If the market keeps going down, you don't want a bunch of long signals, right? And it never could stretch up to give us a good short signal. Now, I want to go through the other trades that are here, and I want to go off of them on the 24 tick. So that covers the arrow trade. That's all there was. Provided plenty of money and opportunity to make money on it. I was very quiet. I didn't do much today, right? I don't have the best days. When the market goes straight down. And my goal is to protect my capital to make it to the balance day where I tend to make a lot of money. Okay, so that's number one. Next, let's go over the next trade, which is the plus sign trade, right? So there's 2 ways that I run the plus sign trade. Okay. What I want at the edges. So let's talk about contra traders, because we're primarily contra traders. We're not momentum traders, right? That's important to remember for how we trade. We're not momentum traders. We are looking for the reversal. So what I want, right, there's 2 ways to do the plus sign trade. What I want at the edge, I'm going to see if we can set it, is I want a plus sign that gets stopped out and then recovered immediately, stuffed or verified below, either way. So I'm going to show you that. So I'd be in here and I'm going, hey, I really would like a long signal, right? So here, these are great. This is a great example. It just didn't show up. What I wanted was this. See these plus signs? They go down, down. They get stuffed immediately. So if I had done this trade, what I would have wanted, I'm going to make this bigger for you. See how they get stuffed? So I want to get a pointing control above these in the trade, and then this is the last one right here, right? So you can see, and then finally it's this bar right here, because it can work the opposite too. Plus sign down outside the channel. You'll see we had to wait all day and then get a pointing control above the top of that bar. So this entry would have been right here at 14.29. You had to wait all day for this. I mean, it worked beautifully. That's your entry. It's a 1 bar stop, and it ripped. We'll go through the 15 tick, right? But I don't think, looking through the whole day, I was pretty bored. I was looking for that trade, and you'll see it over here at 12:45, meaning see these 2 plus signs down here, right? So the first bar with the pointing control above, right, is your long. It's this bar here. I gotta tell you, that trade would have been, given the context of where we were, meaning trending down as hard as we were, and this thing's just been not making it to the top of the channel all day long. I saw this trade. I did not take it. right? I'm not going to take that at the top. That has to set up outside. And that's exactly what I mean by you would expect some of these to set up outside the channel and then pop, and it didn't. I'm not going to take it, and the reason why is pretty clear, right? So I could sit here and go, hey, look, this trade worked great, but this trade wouldn't have worked anywhere else, right? If I quote set it up, this trade wouldn't have worked anywhere else. As a matter of fact, here you got the plus sign down. Excuse me. We closed above it and it stopped you. Just, I wouldn't have taken it, didn't take it. I'm all right with that. There just wasn't any kind of two-sided rotation, right? So, and that was the story pretty much all the way through the course of the day. So I was looking for those plus signs to get stopped out. They just didn't. So the other way to have traded it, excuse me, again, if you see the market going up, you would have wanted the plus sign up, get verified, then close below, but we couldn't get that either. This is the example of that. I apologize, excuse me so much. Let me pause it for a second. Okay. This gets verified, see that? We closed below, but we closed below at the bottom of the channel. Like, we just couldn't get the range in there. Could I sit here and go, hey, look, plus sign, verified, close below, short? But we just didn't get the range. Same thing here, right? Plus sign, verified, close below, short. I'm not going to tell people to keep shorting down, 400 points on the day. It's not my style. It doesn't pay off through the majority of my career. If I miss one day, I'm okay with it. You can see the trade still worked, verified, close below. And in hindsight, looking at it, I would have gone like, yeah, I should have been doing that all day long. That's a great trade, right? Plus sign, verified, close below. But I didn't call any of those or even point out those trades. I'm not going to encourage people to keep shorting in the hole, but the trade did work. If we go to the 15 tick, which again surprisingly was more effective today, I'll go show you the same trade because I'll be looking for it tomorrow. 9 o'clock. So here's an example of verified, point of control below. Down it went, so that's an area I guess I can improve in for tomorrow. It's a 1 bar stop, so assuming you can get filled, I guess I should have attacked that a little bit more. Verified, never get a point of control underneath in here. So where you did get it verified and where I could have done a better job was right in here at 917, and I didn't. I will draw it to my attention for tomorrow, but verified, bar closes below, short. And that bar, you can use it twice. I really don't like to do that, but you could use it twice. And then over here, so the way this would work is two-sided. So verified, point of control below, you would have looked for the short there. I would have gotten stopped on that trade had I taken it. Again, it was a weird day. We really couldn't get, it just didn't line up the way it normally does. Again, this chart over here, if I had done this in sequence, I would have come out just fine, right? Which would have been short, stopped, verified, short on this bar again, paid. Let's see, I'm just looking for the plus signs to get verified. I should have said, hey, if we get over this, lift. Wow, let's see. Plus sign, verified. Again, it just, you need the point of control underneath. And they were getting the point of control underneath and coming right back up, stopping you. You had to take it the second time. I wasn't shorting. We were down so far here, I just was not shorting. This is a great sign. Plus sign, stuffed, right? And then you close above. I should have caught that. I did not. Again, here, if you were looking too short, right? See, I would have taken this the other way most days. This is supernova, plus sign, stuffed, get the point of control above. Like, this is one of my favorite trades. Again, I didn't take this, but normally I would expect a attempted breakout to the upside there. Didn't happen, right? And that's how the whole day went down. I just didn't have an easy time. I didn't have a hard time avoiding stops. That wasn't the problem. I just didn't. Nothing jumped out at me that said, "Hey, Simon, take this trade." Again, I could have done better here. This is New York lunch. I wouldn't have traded this. There's two ways to take it. I would have set the point of control under the point of control in this case, and it fell away. Let's see. Arrow stuff down here at 11:53, that lifted. Just my favorite trades just did not show up today. You can see the shorts up here. I thought this was one of the best trades of the day. This trade I could have shorted, and I did not do it. Right? If you just put a line on the point of control, bar below, off it falls. So, and same thing, no, not verified. This not get verified. This got stuffed again. I wouldn't have gone long there. Whereas on a trend day up, I might have attempted the extension to the long side. And that was really, day was over for me. It was just a weird day. I don't know what else to say. So, but you will notice two things. I want to make this really clear. The team stayed on process, and therefore no one had a horrible day. I'm going to say this again. The team stayed on process, and people were either up and profitable or flat for the day, right? I can't tell you how immensely valuable that was. I know you look at a day like today and you're like, man, it moved 600%, 600 points. I should have had a monster day. It just didn't line up for me. And that's part of day trading, right? So, again, I don't worry about these days too much. They don't happen too often. If I can catch them, that's great. If I can't, I just want to protect my capital. So that's all I got, guys. Have a wonderful night. I'm looking to attack it again tomorrow. I have no idea what to expect for tomorrow morning, so I'll just take it as it comes. We had a great trade, by the way, this evening. I took it. Right here. This just occurred before I came on. So 2, arrow up, stuffed, arrow up, stuffed. If you took the long here, you got stopped here. And then you had another long right here, which paid for that stop. I don't have much else to add in that process. Don't guess where the market's going to go. Follow your process, repeat it over and over. Make it boring, make it rote, that you know you're going to come in, you know exactly what you're looking for. This is actually, that right there, right before I came on, that was my best trade of the day. I hate to say it, but it just was. I got paid on it. It rolled from basically a 91 entry all the way down to 49. So 40 points. I didn't take 40 points on it, but I got a good chunk of it, and that's always cool. Resist the urge to assume. The other place people have a hard time is they see these arrows up like this, and they try to cheat. Don't cheat on that. Just wait till the bar closes would be my strong suggestion. Let it guide you. These things light up in real time, right? But what I'm seeing, if someone's struggling, is they see the arrow and they make the assumption that the bar will close down, and they like, oh, I can get it at 71 instead of 63. If you were going to short this and you're looking for the short, let the bar close so it's in your favor. Let me explain how that works, right? So obviously I'm not looking long up here, but if I was looking short, right? Again, I'd rather not trade in the middle of the channel. I'd rather trade at the top of the channel. But even if you trade at the top of the channel and you went through this series, the way this would have worked, you still had to pick a direction, because you can get these little up, down, up, down, up, down kind of deals. But think about it. Let's say you were trying to go long, right? One stop, one win, right? You don't have to guess whether it's going to reverse or not. And there's a good reason for that. See this right here where you go, oh, it's the arrow down. I'm going to guess that it's going to reverse on this bar. See how it came back up in? Well, then what it does is it stops you, right? And the problem is you have nothing to do there. Like, you're like, why did I take that trade, right? Well, I thought the bar was going to reverse, and it did not. Let's say you thought it was short here, right? See how that bar just printed arrow up? Well, you'd be short at 63, right? And it immediately goes. Why you would short the middle of the channel is a different story, but that doesn't matter. Up, bar down, can I get any kind of scale? And that's really always my measure. Bar up, down, can I get any kind of scale? So at least I know if I've had a bad day like I took my trades on process, I can at least explain away. Now, let me show you what I mean. Let's say in Asia you wanted to go long. I usually don't trade Asia, but if I did, I go long here. Paid. I'm going to show you something, right? How to correct for a trader that's doing poorly, right? So this, let's say you think it's going to reverse tonight and go up 600 million points, right? So you go long here, you go long here, you go long here, you go long here, and you go long here, and you're like, Simon, the process doesn't work, right? And I'm going to go, okay, that's fine. Let's correct it, right? And you go long here, let's say. All right, so first thing I'm going to say if I'm coaching you is, let's get you into context, right? Proper context means a lot, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say in context is, let's take out your trades that are in the middle of the channel. So that eliminates this. So right now you have one. Here, let's erase this one more time and get this right. All right, remember this is someone who's long and thinking we're going up. So and we're going to start right here at 6 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so then that trader says, well, Simon, I looked at your process and, I'm losing money, right? And so let's look at how they're losing money, right? So let's say each of these, this is a 15-tick chart. Let's just say for quick math, they're 10 points each on the losses. And let's say we're shooting for 15 points a game, okay? So this is 10, 20, 30 points of loss, and 15 and 15. So first of all, that trader's break even, right? Now, let's go to that trader and correct where they're taking trades and get them disciplined, right? So we're going to take away this. There goes 10 points. Now we're minus 20. There goes 10 points. Now we're minus 10. Now you got 15, 15, right? 15, 15, and minus 10, which would put you up 20 points on the evening instead of down or break even on the trade, right? Why? We took you out of the middle of the channel and we put you into where you should be trading, and it makes a huge, huge difference. Stay disciplined until you know we are going up. And today was clearly showing signs of, hey, we don't want to reverse. We do not want to reverse the market. And then the last piece I would say is line up your locations with 30-minute levels, daily, intraday levels, low volume nodes, prior days high, prior days low, and unfair pricing. If you do all those things, you should have, even on a day like today, you'll be profitable trading to the long side and to the short side, right? You just have to have patience to take the trade on process. Anyways, my name is Simon. The way you get a hold of me, I did not post this earlier, but I will post it now if I have it. There, here we go. TradeandPerform@gmail.com. It's $100 for the first month, then $299 per month after the first month. Email me, ask for a 5-day pass. That's the extent of my marketing. Have a good night, guys. I'll see everyone in the morning.